All right, so real shit video 101. I'm gonna change your reality right now, okay? There are things called recursion loops, okay? We have, what is going on here? We have AI, okay? A lot of people are getting their answers and stuff from AI. Listen, it's not going to tell you what to do, but what it does is it scans the internet, finds the smartest person in the room, and then gives you that information, okay? It's like the information that you're seeking isn't really what you're looking for. You have what you're looking at. You have everything that you need, okay? So, once you start noticing coincidences, and then you have another coincidence, another coincidence, you know what that is? It's called a synchronicity, okay? Well, a recursion loop is an infinite loop, like a Fibonacci spiral, okay? Let's say if I'm having a conversation with you, and I don't get to the point, and I just keep going, and then I just, you keep really just go, you know what I'm saying? You keep going into it. Now, here's the interesting part too. It's kind of dangerous. Once you recognize it, whatever your reality was, whatever your construct was, whatever you felt comfortable with, once you recognize that, all that changes. All that changes. But that's good, because once you recognize that, that's when you can actually do some changing, okay? And you can get into a new frequency, a new vibration part of that. I've done this, and I just literally put a video up on last night. As soon as I said, like, hey, open quote, I want to exit this recursion loop, end quote, boom. As soon as I said that, literally the sky at night got brighter and the peacocks next door started going off. As soon as I said it, I'm in a 60-acre field, you know, and these next to me got like 20 acres and stuff. But it's just really weird. And you have a new direction, okay? You have a new way of looking at things. Okay, so like the sun's right here. Let's go ahead and put that behind me. So you got that sun. See, you got that little light that can poke through right there? Okay. So everything's a mathematical sequence. Everything is geometry. Everything is a frequency. Everything is a sound. Everything is a light. Everything is, if you're seeing, if you're smelling, if you're tasting, you know, you got those 5 senses. Those are your 5 physical senses. You got a lot more senses than that. You got the sense of love. You got the sense of hunger. You got the sense of sex. You know, they just don't talk about these things. What I want you to do is, I want you to evaluate and really observe your surroundings, okay? Once you start recognizing this stuff, you start getting into what's called forbidden logic, okay? Forbidden logic is literally almost like escaping a system. Now, if you're one of these people, you know that, hey, this is what I like to look at and stuff like that. You're just gonna be endlessly scrolling through YouTube, Facebook, whatever, going through it. But once you realize, hey, I'm picking up a pattern, and you get on that little pattern trip, you keep following it, and then, oh my gosh, you gotta have a direction, okay? Because then, hey, you get into that loop again, and there's loop after loop after loop after loop. Once you have a direction, you witness it, you feel that part happening right now, you channel in with that, okay? That's where all those multiple possibilities of reality start to close in, and you actually have a solid channel now, okay? It's not more like, hey, I'm just gonna go this way, and just aimlessly go around. No, you got direction. You have 100% direction at that point. Now, this is where things can get kind of scary. Once you see the magic trick, once you see that illusion, you can't unsee that trick. It's just gonna get really bored for you, okay? The things that you used to enjoy doing, you're gonna kind of lose that a little bit, but that's okay. The conversations that you're gonna have with people, they're not gonna be empty, but you're just gonna be able to know what they're gonna be saying by the end of it. My mind works so fast, okay? I'm wicked on a computer. I'm wicked on phones. I got a phone farm. I do CTR optimization. I build AI supermodels and stuff. I do 3D modeling, you know? Now I'm getting into, I have D-Wave, getting into quantum computers, getting into Python and robotics. You know, I'm having direction. I'm doing a lot of technical shit, you know, but I have a direction with it, you know? So I want you to do this. Don't just like randomly start searching for something, because if you're expecting randomness, you're just gonna get randomness, okay? But if you got a direction that you're gonna end up going there. In 2022, I think it was 2022 or 2023, a Nobel Prize was awarded for quantum entanglement. This is real. It's not no more of this little sci-fi. This ain't no more of this, oh, this could be a possibility. No, this is real. This is as real as it gets. As real as you can feel it. As real as it's being shown to you right now. So as I'm doing this video, as I'm speaking, it's like, okay, I'm seeing, you know, my face here on the screen. But right now it's an obligation. I have to let people know, you know, so they can get onto this frequency too. And I know you've been hearing about it a long time, you know, you start seeing the yoga videos and like, oh, the chakras and stuff like that. Okay. You know, that was back from India and stuff like that. You know, that's like a new thing here in the United States. You know, it's kind of like, oh, and people are just doing it just for like flashy show. But if they really know what they're really playing with, So this is what I want you to do. Today, have a direction. Ground yourself a little bit. Get outside, breathe. You know, if you do got to look up something, I want you to look up what is really troubling you. Like those deep, dark secrets and stuff. Once you start getting into that, okay, if you find a video, the first time you get that intuition, that first little gut feeling, like, and you pause for a second, get on that one and get on that one. And this is kind of interesting. You know who the most dangerous company is out there? Realistically, it's not the FBI, it's not the IRS, it's not, you know, a defense company. Yo, it's Google. Because listen, and think about this. Google knows your calendar dates. It knows what porn you look up. It knows every single search. The IRS, yo, they just get whatever they either send paperwork for or you send it to them. You know, just bank account information and stuff like that. They don't know what you're doing on Tuesday next week. They don't know how many naked bitches you got on your phone. They don't know how many naked pictures you got of you on there, but they do. And you've given them full access to it pretty much your whole entire life. So don't think for 1 second that Google's not a business. We look at it as like a search engine, okay? Yeah, it's a search engine, but it's like, okay, I got this truck right here, okay? But the only thing I look at on that truck is like, dang, I'm stuck on the wheel, you know, or the emblem on it. That's even better. It's a Dodge, okay? That's all I know about it. It's a Dodge. It's a Dodge. So realistically, you're nothing more than a hood ornament in this reality, okay? It does have a little bit of direction. It's got an identifier, but you're nothing more than a hood ornament. But once you recognize, whoa, you're the actual vehicle driving it. You're not a participant in it no more. You're the actual director of it. Now, once you start directing, now you got an obligation, okay? And the shit gets a little bit real. I'm getting those goosebumps. You can't fake that. And I know I do that in my videos because that's literally connecting into a frequency, okay? Yeah. So, I know it sounds kind of far-fetched, you know, about 7 minutes into this. If it makes sense, perfect. You're that person who needs to really look up into it. I want you to look up recursion loops, okay? You're gonna see a lot of stuff about mathematics. You're gonna see a lot of stuff about coding because realistically, there is a code to this. That leaf right there, it's a fractal. It's an infinite shape. The planet, the coastlines on the planet is a fractal. Light is a fractal. When we're here in our houses and stuff like that, if you're in an RV, if you're in a truck or you're in a house, that is a square shape. The human body, the human brain can't make up stuff and can't imagine stuff with square 90-degree angles. It needs grass. It needs fractals so the mind can expand, so the mind can look at it. So if you're stuck on a box all day, hey, you don't have a way to expand. So get out some nature, breathe some air, think about some stuff, and have some direction with it, okay? And you'll start noticing, hey, this will start working out, and then more and more, the stuff will start coming to you. Like literally that law of attraction kind of thing, it works, okay? So, if you know just a little bit about math, all right? Well, 1 + 1 does not equal 3, but hey, I could say, hey, a mother and a father equals a baby, okay? That works. Or if I have this circle and I put it in front of that circle and I got a Venn diagram, that's a little space in the middle, okay? So 1 + 1 = 3 can be solved by reasoning, not necessarily by logic. So you're still getting to the same point. You know, it's not like taking a shortcut. So I don't care if you get to that destination and you can make it seem like, hey, this is real, or you sell that. Well, you came up with enough bullshit to make it believable, okay? So now, boom, that sets into that part of that reality. Okay. So you can literally throw people way off. And that's what's been happening for a long time. Happening for a very long time. Because people don't even know, hey, am I real? Is this an illusion? Is this the Matrix? Is this Am I a man? Am I a woman? Am I a god? Am I a person? Am I a demigod? People are so confused nowadays because what are they looking up? They're going on Google, okay? Or they're going on Bing, you know, they're going on a search engine and stuff. Today, your privacy is what's being marketed right now. Your dreams is what's being marketed right now. And don't think for 1 second that algorithm ain't gonna pick up. And you can't really escape it, you know? Okay, you can build you a phone, you know, but it's unrealistic nowadays. You'll hear people talk about black mirrors and mirroring. And if you get on the right track, you're gonna see shit about mirrors. That's when you know you're on the right track, okay? You're gonna see mirror, 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 mirror. Because realistically, what you're seeing, what I'm seeing here, I'm talking to you through this phone, but I'm communicating with you. Think about this. I'm here, you're wherever you're at, but we're communicating. You're listening to me, you're hearing my voice. So I just transmitted this air that went into my lungs. I'm vibrating it into a sensor. It's going through a wave up into space, up into the ether, and reaching you. So that's literally like a quantum entanglement right there. So, this is really cool. You know, I'm getting kind of out of breath talking about that, but I'm trying to get under some trees and stuff. But yeah, this is another thing too. I want you to do this right before like sunset. Like, there's some stars out and stuff. I want you to get to a silhouette of a tree. Okay, so I'm gonna stand right here. It's that silhouette of that tree. So, try to look. See that hole there? See that hole there? The top of that shape? When you go outside tonight and you find a tree like that, and you go to stand, find a star, lock it in onto that hole. Once you lock one star into that hole, every little gap onto there, the stars are gonna line up onto it perfect. Every time. I show this to my friends and it's mind-blowing, okay? You have a charge that's in your body, okay? Grab a voltmeter, like a battery tester, you know, the little pins on it. Put your hands on it and hold it. Okay, you get a little bit of reading. Now, I want you to get a penny in one hand and a paper clip or some other metal. So you got two different type of metals. Just hold them in your fingers and retouch it again and watch how much your body power jumps up just like that. So what happens is you got an anode and a cathode. Your body's like a capacitor, okay? So literally just by whatever you're touching in your environment is literally controlling the energy output of your body. So that means the people that you're touching, the environment that you're touching, the jewelry that you're wearing and stuff like that, is a lot of the influence of your field that you're putting out. So that could either A, influence, or B, degrade. You don't really want to degrade, you know? So, another simple thing too, I like these flowers. That flower is simple, but it's a fractal too. It's built on mathematics. We're built on mathematics. Now, that saying is true. Your whole entire life experience that you're doing is just basically an output of a memory from when you were younger. So, if you're a chick and throughout your teen years and stuff like that, a bald dude used to hit you, or you had a weird creepy neighbor that was bald, you know, used to creep you out. Psychologically, now every time you go out in public, you see a bald dude, it puts that little, oh gosh, you know, it puts that little tiny emotion. It triggers that, okay? However you drive, however you talk with people, the way you shake hands with people, the way you eat, you know, your ethics and stuff like that is basically an expression of what you've had been going on your whole entire life, okay? If you can recognize that and change that, so now it was just the past then. The only way we recognize time is literally just by the way that an element decomposes, okay? Because realistically, there's not such thing as a time. But an element has to decompose, okay? Or break down. However it takes long for that half-life or it to break down, and it takes that type of time. So that's where that construct comes into. It's the breakdown of matter, okay? That's where we come up with time. So like your watch, your atomic clock and stuff like that, you know, like, you know how we actually measure time? It's a kilogram. So you got a kilogram weight. It's going up and down. It goes up and down, and it measures the oscillations, okay? So the oscillation frequency is actually telling you the time of day. Yo, what is the oscillation frequency? Every hertz frequency, like say if I have a 2 hertz oscillation, that means that I have 2 pitches every second. So if I have a 50 hertz or a 60 hertz, why are those important? 60 hertz power, 50 hertz power. Now, how does this all affect you? Okay, here we're on 60 hertz frequency. Overseas, they're on 50 hertz frequency. So if you want to synchronize up the brain chemistry, you ever heard of binaural beats? Binaural, two neural, okay? And one side, let's say if we're gonna have 100 hertz frequency on the left side, you are either gonna have on the right side 90 hertz or 110 hertz. Because to synchronize up the brain, you only need like a 10 hertz frequency difference. The brain needs a 10 hertz frequency difference to synchronize. Wait, isn't 60 minus 50, 10? So you're telling me that half this planet over here is on 60 hertz and then the other half is on 50? Wait. If the planet's a circle, the planet's a dome, that all comes back together. Holy shit. You ever go next to a power line, you kick on a drill, and you can hear that hum? Why do you hear that hum? Mathematically, the human ear hears from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Ironically enough, our power grids, 50 and 60 hertz, is right on that low end spectrum of human hearing. So you're hearing the power, and that's called mind's hum. You can feel it, you can hear it. So now you got all these different frequencies going on. You got all these different things. You're interacting with an environment you can't even see. A turtle can see more than you, okay? You only see this little tiny little spectrum. So be thankful for that, because that's all you get to see. But at least you got your ears, you got your tongue, you got your body, you know, sensing all these things. All right? So what you're seeing right here isn't the whole entire picture. Because if you saw in radio waves, you wouldn't even see me. If you saw in, I don't know, x-rays and stuff like that, you would see like my bones and stuff like that, but you wouldn't see my skin, you know? So what you're looking at, what you're observing, pay attention to that, because that's what you're being shown right now. That's what you're being observed, because you could just have easily been that flower sitting right there, stuck all day. Now, do you think, we're a human, okay? We gotta have a lot of motion, we gotta go a lot of places, we gotta have all these different relationships and stuff like that. But if you look at that tree right there, that tree's been there its whole entire life. It's not bitching, it's not complaining, it's there. It's experiencing it, it's living in that moment, and it's growing. Now grass, I think the term is mononucleate. It's not just, you know, grasses, it's one grass out there. When the trees are out there in the woods, they're all communicating with each other. Don't think for 1 second that they're not. Because you can literally get these little synthesizers, they plug them into mushrooms, and you can make different sounds out of plants. They sell them on Amazon. So you're no different from that. If you look at, all right, this is gonna sound cool too, a computer or a memory chip. What is a memory chip? Okay, you got carbon, you got silicon in it, okay? Well, you got different metals, you got gold, you got iron, you know, you got aluminum. Now hang on, isn't the human body made of different elements too? You got hydrogen, you got oxygen, that makes water. Okay, you got calcium, that makes your bones. You got iron in your blood, okay? And what's really cool about the iron in your blood, what happens when you have an iron or a metal substance going around a magnet, you know, and it breaks an electric current, or have an electric current, now you got a magnet, okay? Ironically enough, you got iron going through your blood with the blood pressure keeping it suspended, passing through your heart, and your heart is putting out a charge. That's how you're getting connected with this environment. You got your brain, you got your heart. You're both putting it out. And you do put out a field. Did you ever be in a room with somebody and you get that weird feeling like, just something ain't right with this guy. Something's just not right with this dude. Yeah, you're getting that feeling and you're feeling it right. Because you just don't feel with those senses. You have your innate. You got your whole body. You feel with your whole entire body. That's that gut feeling. Most of the time, whenever I had a decision, I always go off my gut feeling. Because if you think about a man, you know, or even like a woman too, we have three brains. I like to say we have three brains. You got your head up here, you got that gut feeling, and you thinking what I do, you know? So yeah, you got three brains, women too, you got your ovaries and stuff. So realistically, we're thinking with stuff. Your gut is a lot bigger than your brain. Yeah, your brain can think a little bit different, but your stomach feels. Why does it feel? So your brain has all these different sensors in it and stuff. So your stomach does too, because you get hungry, right? You get full, so it does feel stuff. Now, when you're feeling that stuff and you're accepting into stuff, you can either A, accept it, or B, attempt to reject it. Now, if you attempt to reject it, you can create a disturbance. Now, whatever type of disturbance you want to create, that's up to you, because that can affect the whole entire plane. Now, if you're using that disturbance for a better good, let's say I'm using that disturbance and I'm walking into a room and it's just bad. It's just bad. But I walk in like, hey, what's up, everybody? Making y'all happy and stuff like that. I can change that. I can disrupt that and bring it into a positive environment. And then we start getting that good feeling again. Roll with that. You want love. You really do. I know you probably hear some stuff like that, you know, love, you know, but if you're in the war, if you got in a plane crash and you're out in the woods and you got to make it over there, what is the one thing you always hear about them survivors? Oh, I was thinking about my family. I was thinking about my loved ones, because that love is what's that driving force, okay? That love is a very driving force, an invisible force, but it's driving. So I want you to understand what you're connecting with, what you're touching, the people that you're around, because realistically, it does all fall back on you. It all falls back on you, because you're here. Now, if you're wondering, what is the purpose of this life? What is this going on? Yo, the simplest thing is this. Your memory got wiped. You wanted to be here. It's your obligation to witness this. And now we're in this three-dimensional form of a frequency, because we went from an oscillation, now we went to a plasma, now we're into a solid state. Because what happens when you start compiling all those different energies, all those different energies? You got two magnets and they push, right? They'll push and repel each other. Well, if that's pushing and that's pushing, you got a whole bunch of stuff pushing. What happens when metal or electricity goes through a small little wire? It starts getting hot, okay? Then you got a color now. A color is an identifying factor. So even with the frequency, you know, if I'm vibrating a certain frequency, I can either create light or I can just create a heat, you know? It's just whatever you're seeing. So if I'm seeing in this spectrum, what's the difference between that spider seeing in its spectrum? You know, it's different eyes, and it's got eyes like binoculars. So it's seeing way far out. That's how it can jump and catch its prey like that. You know, we all have something beneficial to hear, but we are here to learn. We are here to experience, and we are here to feed back. We're here to learn, okay? Because really, you're me, I'm you. We're just in a little bit different. Another thing too, you're never touching anything. All the different atoms and stuff like that, they're all, if you zoom in and zoom in, zoom in, those atoms never touch. You keep zooming out, zooming out. So in that same sense, I'm here, I'm reaching out right now, I am technically touching that tree. Okay, in your perspective right now, it just looks like I have my hand on a tree, right? Look, it almost fits perfect right onto there. So, my hand fits on that tree. In your perspective, I am touching that tree. But if I change the perspective, oh wow, I'm not. That's another thing too. Your window of perspective has a lot to do with how you're going to react to your environment. But if you observe what you're looking at and you evaluate it and question it, should I be feeling this? Is this making me happy? Is this going to benefit me? Or is this going to cause any type of trouble? If it's going to benefit you, then go with it. If it's going to cause you trouble, go away. You know? So, everything is all these different connecting fields, okay? So, just like I'm in here with the grass, I'm in here with these flowers, I'm underneath these trees and stuff like that, you know? And we all know this experiments in school, you scream at plants and stuff like that, and, you know, they don't grow as good and they don't die, yo, because we're all connected. You know, we're here onto this planet. But we're here for that reason, you know? And what are we doing? Watching videos about dancing and stuff like that. We're arguing with your people. We're fighting. We're trying to divorce everybody. We're trying to sue everybody. Yo, what is up with that? It's just messing up that frequency. It's making it worse. It's making it worse. But if you recognize it and you're ready to see differently, but prepare yourself for that. Are you really ready to see like I see? To see like some of us who have actually figured this out and go, okay, I can handle this boredom. I can handle this, not exhaustion, but just, there's no surprise anymore. It's like you go to a magic trick or magic show, and then you go to the same show again, and you go to the same show again, it gets boring. And then you're just telling the friends, oh yeah, I could, you know, you watch a movie and you could say it word for word, you know? So, what I want you to do is, if you see a type of coincidence and it hits up again, you start noticing a synchronicity, okay? Pay attention to that, because something's trying to get a hold of you. It's trying to let you know something, okay? So, You're gonna hear, you might hear something about you being chosen or something like that, you know. When you hear that you're the chosen one, it's not you're being selected. No, you're, look at the goosebumps again. Because you can't fake that. I'm trying to help you guys out here. That chosen is because you selected that right frequency channel and now you're into that, okay? And now you can focus and now you can have a direction that you want to go. So, the illusion, the curtain, we're here, this physical part, what we're witnessing and all that, that's up to you. You know, you came here, you're conscious, you're thinking, stuff like that. So do something with it. You're here and I'm here. So let's help out each other. Because this stuff's gonna get really, really bad, man, if it keeps going like this. And we're relying on a computer, and we're relying on an AI. Yo, let me tell you something. If you're stuck on GPT, if you're stuck on Grok, if you're stuck on Claude, you know, and that's the coolest thing you've ever seen, yo, you got a lot to see. You got a lot of waking up to do because you're just stuck on something talking to you, okay? And if you're really fascinated by something like that, either A, you're lonely, either 2, you have never been exposed to the right questions or even asked the right questions, and 3, I don't even know number 3, but there is so much more that you can do with an AI. And this has been around in your face longer than you even know. Because what is an artificial intelligence? If you ever played a Madden football game from the early 2000s or like 90s and shit like that, if you had the ball and that team was coming out at you, that's an artificial intelligence, okay? It's just, now it's a cliche term, just like bougie or bussin' or some riz. And okay, now it's really cool, you know, because we used to have to type stuff. You know, okay, there we go. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. So as soon as I started getting onto that, yo, this has happened before. You know, you get just a little too carried away, and then, hey, I'm gonna try to cut you off for there for a second. But, all right. So the last thing I was saying was sound like busting and stuff like that. If you're stuck on the part of the computer being able to talk to you, you know, you got a lot to look at, because they're not just gonna hand a civilian a military grade device that can show you the map of the planet. It's called GPS. We're not just gonna give you a 4-blade airplane that can just lift up like that, a drone. We're not just gonna give you, you know, we're not just gonna give you a laser cannon, and then we're not gonna give you an EMP, you know. So the reason they're gonna have this like that, because hey, people like me that can pick up an idea, they're systemizers. All we need is that little fractal. We just need that little tiny piece of information and we can go with it, you know, because we pay attention. Because that's what our obligation is here to do. We know what we want to do. I'm not here going around, what should I do? No, I've always had a prime objective my whole entire life, and I've been drawing the shit out. And here's the thing, you leave breadcrumbs for yourself. I even do it on my Facebooks. I've been doing it for that. I'll pull them up. Even when I was a little kid, like before I was 7 years old, and this is important too. If you can think about who you were before you were 7 years old, if you can build the character before you build the product, like when we're in school and stuff like that, and you're sitting there, you know, you're a kid and you have all this energy and you're focused to have to sit still, have to listen to these lectures, you know, the person's not made to do that, you know? We're not supposed to sit there. The school system was made to create workers, not to create people who can be a free thinker, you know? I just do whatever the fuck I want. I don't care. I do care. I care about my safety. I care about being cautious. But if I got an idea and I run with it and I feel like it, I'm going for it. And 9.9 times out of 10, it's always worked. You know, because I'm going off that gut feeling. Because I'm going off that channel. And if you're in that channel, you're riding that wave, and you're focused, nobody can distract you from that. But, so it takes you, and you try to go back to it, it's already different. It's gone. It's gone. And women, you can vouch with me on this too. If you're walking in a store, and I'm looking at you like this, and I see, and then I kind of go back, I've lost. That's that split second, like that. Dudes, that's what happens. You know, if you see her and you look her in the eyes, hey, yeah, bang. Oh my God, yeah, all right. But if you just like, oh, because to her, it's like, wait, you don't even have the pride or even, what, am I that disgusting? You can't even look at me? See that emotion, that change, and stuff like that. That happens with everything, you know? If you observe something for that split second, because we have electrons, this is what comes in with the Schrodinger, and you have quantum entanglement, you have how quantum computers work when they do the bit flip. Okay, you got. No, that was me that time. Now, if you want to start understanding a little bit of math, yeah, go for it. You'll start understanding the basics. If you want a kickstart, if you want a shortcut into your reality, cymatics, look up cymatics, look up Fibonacci spiral, look up fractals. Yeah, I would start with those three things. Fibonacci spiral, look up fractals, and yeah, just like so simple mathematics and stuff like that. Oh, cymatics, yeah, because that's a vibrational shape of sound. That's that right there. So if you have a hertz frequency that makes a shape, okay, it creates that shape. But however, if you have a certain hertz frequency, and it could create a disturbance of your body, because your body's made of water. So in the 40s, we had to talk overseas about our natural tone. So if you know anything about music theory, A4 on a keyboard was what, 442? You know, now we're at 440 hertz frequency. You got 4 plus 4, 8. You know, or what, however, I'm trying to remember the exact number. But listen, on A, I'm trying to get a lot into this because my phone's messing up, and I'm trying to get all this everything together. But back in the 40s, they were the national broadcast, okay, for the hertz frequency, the radios that were going out and stuff like that. They changed that. So they had a decision to make it to where it does, all those three numbers don't add up to 3, 6, or 9. They're not divisible by 3, 6, or 9. I'm just trying to make it simple for you. So if that hertz frequency is not divisible by 3, 6, or 9, you know, it doesn't make a geometric shape. It makes a little bit of a disturbance, okay? And you can see this in cymatics and shapes of water. And your body's made of a lot of water, okay? So, okay, yeah, you're not seeing it, but a long time, yeah, your body will start being affected to it. If you get a watermelon and you put it in a box, you know, once it grows, it'll grow into a square because it's growing into that environment. And like I said, just because what you see is not everything else, because you're feeling everything else too. You're feeling that heat. You're sensing all those different frequencies and stuff. When I was younger, I was making music and stuff. I ended up drifting out of producing music, and I started getting into the sound science. And I was like, shit, this can be weaponized. And that's where I got into a little bit of had a little life journey with that. You know, got contacted and did some research for some people, and that was a fun year. But I learned a lot in that. So infrasound and ultrasound. I will tell you this. Ultrasound affects the solid. Infrasound affects the air and the liquid, okay? Quick little example. You ever get pregnant and have to go check for your baby? You use ultrasound to look for that baby. If you got kidney stones and they want to blast them, you use ultrasound. But if you want to attack the pancreas, you want to attack the liver, if you want to go for the air and the liquid in your lungs, you're going to go infrasound with that. Now this was kind of scary too. You can't hear it, but you can feel it. So both sides of that, because it's that spectrum. Now this is going to go with, perfect example of that, if you've ever heard a cop car or an ambulance go by, the pitch is the same, but when you hear it, it's like woo 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 woo. It makes that woo 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 woo. Because if it's going wee 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 wee, it's coming towards you. If it's woo 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 woo, it's going. It sounds like a lower pitch, but it's the same. That's called the Doppler effect. Doppler. Where have I heard that before? Oh my gosh, the weather radar. They use Doppler weather radar. Oh my gosh. So that same Doppler effect is like if you're staring up at the stars, you see them blink. You know, they're blinking blue, moving to you. Blinking red, they're going away from you. So if you know anything about colors and you look up at the sky, like right now it's blue, you know, because we got the sun coming over here going to light, and that's the only color that the atmosphere isn't going through. But then if you look up into space, and it's black. But realistically, you're seeing it as black. But if I had an infrared camera and I looked up in the sky, oh, it's all lit up. Why? Because it's in a different spectrum. But it's calibrated to show you a color that you can see. But it's completely different than that red and that yellow and the green and stuff like that. It's just calibrated to you into that spectrum. You know? It's a calibration machine. So you can see it. So, space isn't black. It's infrared. It's low wave red that has dissipated it so long that it's so low of a wavelength that you can't see it anymore. So it's red. It's all the frequency. So everything that you're in. But we're here right now. And if you recognize this and you've been watching this long, thank you. And you're gonna be on the same little path that I've been on. And you're gonna get the same excitement. Yeah, when I say about the boredom, I said earlier, that's just because it's like, yo, there's the fun time's over. You know, it's time to get real. You know, you could die today, you die tomorrow, but realistically, you're dead now. And you're not even alive right now. Because this goes to Schrodinger, this goes to electron. Once an object is observed, it changes its state. So, this is what's really, really, really interesting. What am I holding in my hand right now? It's a phone, it's got a camera in it. Now there's got these cameras everywhere, okay? We got observers everywhere, okay? That changes the state of matter because it's being observed. And the universe knows when it's being observed. Think I'm lying? Look it up. Go look it up. Now, it's been a lot of talk here. I don't know how long these couple videos, because one took off, one I got hit on my thumb and stuff like that. But when you really put it all together, it starts to start making sense. Because it should have the whole entire time. It just didn't click at first. But once it clicks, it's up to you to either go back to the way you're doing or try to help benefit. So now, I used to kind of like not really want to talk about this kind of stuff because I didn't want to act like a weirdo. But I'll tell you what made us weird as kids is makes us creative as adults, you know? So I know that I would have loved an opportunity like this because every video that I see on YouTube, it's thumbnails and crazy music and stuff like that. I mean, great, you got marketing and stuff like that in some videos that I have gone onto my path, yeah. Been those type of videos, but I'd love a video just like this. Hey, I got a country boy out here that's got it figured out. He's got a head on his shoulders. He's breaking it in terms that I can understand. But he's talking a little fast because he's got to get it all out there and you got a short retention span. But there is a community of people like this out here. You know, we get together and start doing things for the good. You know, at least our little construct, we can help it out. I don't think you can save everybody. I don't, you know, because that's just part of it. And it sucks, you know. So the ones that are looking for it, the ones that are searching for it, they're the ones that's gonna get it. Because you don't want to exhaust your efforts, you know? So focus that channel on where it needs to go. But focus on you first. I know it sounds kind of selfish, but if you can't help out you, you can't help out anybody else. Like if you're on an airplane and you got those gas masks that come down, you get air to yourself, you don't help out the passenger, because if you ain't got air, you can't help them out. Help yourself out, get in the right state, figure it out to the point where it's like, okay, now it's time. But guys, this is the reason I'm doing this time right now. I spend a lot of time on the internet. I spend a lot of time on the computer, man. I spend a lot of time on my phones. And that's another thing too, our mirrors and stuff like that. Back in the day, only royalty families and stuff, they would have a black mirror. And how would that black mirror shine? It's because it was made of obsidian, you know? And before people would make a decision, they would stare into that. Well, before they looked into that mirror, now we all technically have it, that's a black screen. So we're all kind of looking at each other, you know, we're looking at ourselves more than what's really going on. But talk to people, start understanding, even if you got no one to talk to, just hang out with a tree. I know it sounds very hippie, but once you start doing it, you'll feel it. It's like, okay, it's hot out here. You grip that tree, it's kind of cold because it's got water in it, you know? This thing's got a lot of vacuum pressure in it too. You know how hard it is? Like if you had a pipe, going up, like see that right there? Those got water that go through that, okay? It takes a pump to have to push that water pressure after, because after 10 feet, the amount of pressure from the gravity of the water weight having to go up, yo, it's extreme. So the water getting up to the top of that, these things are full of pressure into them. So yeah, there's a lot going on. It's exciting and it just keeps going more and more and more. But you can get caught in that infinite loop if you're not careful. You can be safe, that's life. But once you figure it out, you can't undo that trick no more. You really can't. You really can't do it anymore. So, as my obligation, this is me doing this little video. I'm gonna be breaking them down smaller by smaller by smaller. But I know this video ain't perfect, you know, but at least get it out there and you improve on it. Because there's gonna be somebody who's gonna watch this and they gotta understand and be like, yo, I'm not alone. Thank you, you know, because we don't want to be alone. You know, if you got someone that you can relate to, yeah, that's what you want. Because we all been searching for that. We're all searching for something. Why are we searching for something? Holy shit, we came here. Wanted that code. Want to try to fix this. You know, this planet right here. It's a beautiful little thing. you know, but we're parked here right now so we can learn, we can understand this, you know. I'm not gonna say any more than that right now, but yeah, we need to shape things up a little bit for, yeah, anyways. Yeah, we'll get that. So, but you got to get that too. You know, we got to do this all together. I mean, because a whole handful of us, we just can't do this. And this is what we got interesting too, man. So, back in the day, people thought like this. Okay, you had Indians, you had Aztecs, you had the Egyptians, you know, you had the Indians, you had they all had a very spiritual connection with things. But we just don't be dancing around fire no more and having sex under the stars and going and what happened, you know? Well, life changed a little bit, and those people that knew stuff, well, people that didn't, you know, the people that knew stuff, they ended up having a family, you know, they had their own little tribe, and then they went on. And then all of a sudden, they became the most influencing persons there. They had no choice but to become the leader. And now this generation, like cursive handwriting, yo, they don't teach it no more. Because you know why? Because that thing right there, that AI can't read cursive. So this next generation that comes out, yo, AI is going to be already implemented in their life, just like how my age people, we had Game Boys, you know, and now we got AI games that look real. Yo, when I played Mario and I played, you know, it looked really good. Now you got Mario fucking Peach and she looks real, you know? So now you're a kid, baby, you know, now you're 5 years old. You've already adapted into a world that doesn't even make sense. It's so technologically advanced with shapes that aren't even geometrical anymore. Your body has no choice but to adapt to that environment. Because like I said, your body is just an expression of what has happened in your past. So you're naturally getting conformed into your environment, whether you like it or not, you know? But understand that. If you can adapt to it, change it, you know, get back out in the open. You know, that's why I like it out here in the country. But once you start putting it all together, it's game time. There ain't no going back. If you go back, well, you're gonna be stuck there again, have to go back from day one. I've done it. I've done it. And man, damn, I'm about to cry thinking about this shit, man. Yo, okay, I had an opportunity like this and I seen this shit, but man, I just got distracted. I went to it and then, yeah, and I was like, man, and finally got back into that groove again. And then, see that goosebumps coming back up and got it back and started staying focused with it, you know? Yeah, it can become an obsession. You know, it seems kind of cool because it's different in your life. You got some purpose. You know what your actual purpose is. You're not looking around no more stuff. That's why I try to make good bondings with people. You know, whether you like them or not, at least you put that out there. So when you get questioned, you know, when you get right there, okay, now it's your turn. All right, well, what did you do with it? You know, did you try to help out? Try to do anything beneficial? Did you try to destroy the whole entire thing? Because if you try to destroy the whole entire thing, we don't want you back here. Why? You know, okay, you wanted your memory erased. You wanted to come back here. You want to try it out. That's on you. Have fun. You signed up for it. Well, you signed that contract. Your name's on there. You're here, and you'll keep being here, and you'll keep being here, and you'll keep being here. But if you want to break out of that cycle and evolve, then see, it's out in the heat. And why would I have goosebumps out here? Why would I have goosebumps? Because you get goosebumps when you're cold, right? You know, you can't fake that, you know, because you channeled in. So this was cool. Bang. Yeah, everything's fractals, man. Just get a little bit of a piece of information, start going with it, and you'll start recognizing, start looking for it. Keep your eyes open, look for it, go with it. Your life will change, and it will change. So, but we're at an interesting time right now. And I know that, hey, I know for years and years and years, people go, oh, we're at the end of times. Oh, we're at the end of times. I always say that. You know why they always say it? Because that time is always at the end of time. There is no time. There is no time. It's just right now. It's a scare tactic. Because, oh, we get you in that vibrational frequency, you can't change nothing. Okay, and then we can show you some stuff. We can give you infinite feed. Okay, now you're looking at this. We got you distracted. We got the algorithm showing to there. Got them. Now it takes you, you don't even have hardly a normal thought. Most of the time you use the stuff you get mad about is stuff that you were taught to be mad about, okay? Think about the last time you actually had an actual thought. Like, what do you actually like, okay? Why do I like this? Was I taught to like this? Okay, there's a Porsche right there. Do I like Porsches? Why do I think a Porsche is a cool car? Why have I taught that's a cool car? There's a truck right there, a Dodge Dakota. That's $5,000. A Porsche was obviously a lot more than that. Why is that worth more, but I can do more with that? You know, I can pull that, but I can't do that with that. You know, but it's just whatever you're told. It's whatever you feel like. You know, it's whatever value that you give it. Whatever value and whatever attention that you give it, that's what it's going to put back out. And it just goes round and round and round. And it's infinite, and it's a field. It is a full-on field, and you're in it. You're in it. Well, you can't go out of it. You can't go into it. You're just already there. You're absorbed into it. But there is a chain break into it. There is a one code. There is one. There they go again. There is one piece of code in the airplane. You have a chance to get that code right, and then it revolves again, and it's infinite, man. You know, infinity, it feel like a long time, but then again, there you go. You got countable infinities and infinite infinities. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop it right here. But yeah, if you've been watching this long and got this all put together, hell yeah, contact me. Let me know what you think, and we'll go on from there. If you contact me, I'll let you know some shit. Oh, for real. Yeah, because I'll appreciate your time. And if you're on this little journey too, yeah, let's see what's up. But if I get 100 messages, I'll see what I can do. You know, this general message. I'm gonna do this. All right, guys. Thank you.